You are now in tune with
Mamba Radio.
Alright, what up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into Brown Mamba Radio. For those of you out there who don't know, my name is Jackson, and happy Tuesday morning to all you guys out there. Hopefully, if you are in the LA area like me, you're staying dry and driving carefully. And to everyone else out there, hopefully you're all having a good morning as well. So, before I get into everything, I just wanted to update you guys in case you've been wondering, for those of you following along out there, where I've been for like the last week or so, since I haven't had anything posted. And also, if you noticed, all the original links to all my tracks and stuff have been, or they're gone. And that's because, I alluded to it in a few episodes ago, my original SoundCloud was terminated. SoundCloud deleted it because when I changed up the format, a few months ago, and started playing music in my stuff. SoundCloud has those algorithms that I think Shazam uses, the same ones that like YouTube and like Instagram and all that stuff use for when people try to use music or copyrighted music in their content. And they gave me 3 strikes and I'm out. So it sucks. It really fucking sucks. Because like I mentioned in the other one, or the other episode, the playing the music in each episode became a big part of the show for me, at least. And it sucks. It really sucks. But I mean, rules are rules. It is what it is. So you guys are listening to this from my new SoundCloud account. It's the same. And it took a little while for me to get things going again because I had to manually re-upload every single track. I got 65 of them, so I had to redo all of those, and that took a little while because like I said, this is just a side thing I do for fun. I do have a full-time job, I got other stuff going on, and it just took a little while for me to get it done. So, like I said, it sucks. It's a little discouraging, but at the same time, it's also, it's a new challenge for me to take head on. It's gonna suck not being able to play music, but it's also gonna just motivate me to want to find a new way to to keep the each episodes and to keep the podcast and the radio show, or whatever you want to call it, interesting and fun. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. And like I said, enough of the sob story stuff. Let's get into the nitty gritty and catch up on everything that I missed over the last week or so. Just because I wasn't doing the show does not mean that I was not paying attention. Let's start off with the NBA, since that is what is in full swing right now. Playoff season is almost here. There's about, a few weeks left of the NBA season, or the regular season left, excuse me. Starting with the Lakers, right before I lost everything, the Lakers finished a good 4-game road win streak. Then they had a couple tough losses, one to the Blazers, but they always struggle against the Blazers and Damian Lillard, and they also had a tough one against the Nuggets, but they bookended all that with a great win on Sunday against the Cavs, and possible future Laker LeBron. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, there's a good win for them, and just the big surprise, I guess you could say. I'll say it's a surprise. It's a surprise to me. Is the big surprise takeaway from all these games and the little hot streak that they're on is this incredible, I guess, uprising, you want to call it, of Julius Randle, of all people. If you are familiar with the show and you've been following along, you know how I feel about Julius Randle. I don't hate him, I just I just feel that I think he's good. Let me put this. He's good. I know he's good. He's number 7 overall pick for a reason. I know he's good. He's talented. I think he's a good player. I don't think he can be great, like one of the all-time greats. But I think he can be a serviceable guy on a good team, championship contender. He's just been playing out of his mind lately. And, like I said, it's great. It's great for the Lakers. It's great for the Lakers. It's great for the fans because it keeps everything right on track with, like I've said before, on how I think that the Lakers should finish the season, keeping it, entertaining for the fans, but at the same time, thinking ahead, thinking of the future. So whether they win or lose, as long as the games are good and as long as it doesn't really interfere with the overall goal of building for the future around this, would have been a young core minus, but they traded a few guys. But you know what I mean. As long as they build for the future, that's the ultimate goal. And like I said, with the way Randall's been playing, it's making it a bigger question going into the offseason on whether to keep him or to trade him. Now, whenever someone plays well as he's been playing, it makes you obviously say, "Oh, keep him." You know what I mean? Like, why would you want to do something, go away from him, or whatever? But when someone else plays like that, especially in a contract year, it also increases their trade value because he could walk if he wants to. And you don't want to have a situation like with Dwight Howard, not comparing Julius Randle to Dwight when Dwight was playing well and stuff. But whenever someone's playing well like that, especially like I said in a contract year, you don't want to let him just walk for nothing. You want to try to at least get something out of him. So his trade value is definitely increased, and also so has his staying power. Maybe he wants to stay along, or the Lakers want to keep him along for the ride. Like I said, we'll have to wait and see. They got a lot of options going forward. We all know that. And like I said, the main thing is as long as they can keep the season fun and entertaining for the rest, the next 20 or so games they got left, I'll be happy as a fan, and I'm sure a lot of you other Laker fans out there will be happy. So like I said, that's all the Lakers have been doing. Going across the hall of Staples Center with the Clippers, they've been playing well themselves. They've won, I got it here, 6 of the last 9 games since the All-Star break, which is very, very, very surprising considering how horrendous they were for the first, first third of the season or so. And it looks like they were definitely the winners of the that Pistons trade, which I'll touch on a little bit later when I go over the rest of the league. But Tobias Harris has been looking really great since coming over from the Pistons. He's really, it just feels like he's been the spark that they needed. He's playing very well. DeAndre Jordan's been playing great as well. And to think I almost traded him from my fantasy team. He wasn't playing as well as I thought he should have been playing. I was going to trade him earlier, then the trade happened, then I figured, he'll get all the rebound stuff. That didn't really happen. He wasn't playing as well as I thought, and I almost pulled the trigger on a trade. Didn't. And literally that day that I didn't do it was like the game, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or so when he had like 20-something rebounds the first time. And so, I'm glad I didn't do it. Playing very well for me. Helping my fantasy team too, which also I'll get to. So if you don't think I forgot about my fantasy teams, because I got a lot to say about them. And with them playing well, their question is a little different from the Lakers. And like I said, if you've been following along, or if you're new, or just a refresher, it's just because the question I think people are asking right now is, can they keep this up? Because this winning, they're currently 7th in the West right now, so they're in the playoffs. If the season ended today or tomorrow or whatever you want to say, they're in the playoffs right now. And like I said, I've said it before. I don't sound like a broken record, but it's just it's Max Kellerman's purgatory theory, where you if they finish right now, they're in the playoffs, but we all know that they're not going to make a lot of noise. Like I said, maybe they'll win a game or two, or something like that, but no one's expecting them to win any series or go on to the conference finals or anything like that. And so, the question I've been seeing a lot, or I think people are asking is like I said, can they keep up this winning, and keep their playoff spot and stuff like that? But I think the question that people need to be asking is not can they, but should they? Again, like I said, to avoid falling into that purgatory that I keep talking about. Because for those who aren't familiar, again, it's when you're good enough to make the playoffs, but not good enough to make any real noise or do anything with it. So you get into the playoffs, like if like it is in a 7 or like a 6, 7, 8 seed, but then like you get bounced in the first round, or maybe you get you get hot in one round and make it to the second round, but you lose in the second round to a much better team. Then not only did you not win anything significant like a conference championship or the title or anything like that, but you're also stuck with a mediocre at best draft pick. You're out of the lottery for sure, like somewhere in like that 17, 18 to like 24 to 25 range, something like that, where it's a toss up on whether or not going to get a solid pick. So it's a tough conundrum. They are, like I said, they've been playing pretty well, but they've got a long road trip ahead of them. It's essentially for the rest of the month. They're going to be on the road. It's about like 6 or 7 games, and like I said, I said it before in a couple episodes ago. This period right here, as I think, what's going to determine how or what direction the Clippers want to go with the rest of the season, and ultimately I think maybe for the future seasons. So like I said, we'll have to wait and see. Speaking of the playoffs and stuff like that, in the West, like I said, the Clippers are in the 7th seed, and there is a little conglomeration of between 7 and 10. The Clippers are in the 7th spot. The Jazz got the 8th spot, and then the Nuggets and the Spurs are both tied at 37 and 30. Look on the outside looking in. But those 4 teams, it's going to be some combination of those 4 teams. That 2 are going to be 2 in and 2 out. That's how it's going to be. It looks like the Spurs are probably going to be on the outside looking in. It looks like, from what I've understood, they're kind of not like giving up on the season, but I don't think they're going to have Kawhi come back, and then the way that they played last night against the Rockets, it looks like they're kind of, I guess, throwing in the towel on the season, which is very, very uncharacteristic of the Spurs to do. But at the same time, it's like, they know, they don't want to be stuck in that program. Like, what's the point of getting in the playoffs if they're not going to win anything other than playoff checks, So, like I said, it's probably, they might be in it, but it's going to be some combination of those 4 teams at the bottom. And of course, then at the top, we all know the Rockets and the Warriors are the top seeded teams in the West. Rockets are number 1 right now. Warriors number 2. But it's going to be some combination of those 2. Who knows how, which one it is. The Rockets are just playing so well. So are the Warriors. We all know that. It's a two-headed monster dragon race. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's between those 2. And then the Thunder and the Pelicans, they're looking all right. Excuse me. Anthony Davis has been playing out of his mind lately. If Harden wasn't having the season that he's having, and the Rockets as a team weren't having this kind of season that they're having as well, definitely Anthony Davis would be a shoo-in, no doubter MVP candidate for the season. But like I said, it's James Harden and the Rockets to lose at this point. And the Thunder, same thing with them. They're just kind of, they'll probably make some noise, but like I said, it's all up to the Rockets and the Warriors. But I want to give a special shout out to the number 3 seed and current owners of a 10-game win streak, the Portland Trailblazers, the surprise team of the West this year. Big ups to them, and especially, Dame Dalla, who is one of my co-MVPs for my fantasy team right now, who's just been leading them to just, like I said, just the surprise breakout team of the West. It's not just Dame, they got the other guys on the team are playing really well too. CJ McCollum, Nurkic is playing okay. They moved Evan Turner to the bench, but that was actually a pretty smart move by them because he's, they can just give him the ball, let him go with the second unit. And so, like I said, they've been playing very, very, very well. Like I said, on a 10-game win streak right now, crazy. And, like I said, I don't know if they can win it all, but they can definitely make it interesting in a potentially conference finals against the Warriors or the Rockets. Like I said, they can definitely hang. They can run with them. They got the horses to be able to go, and then anytime you got a guy like Dame on the court who can make, essentially any shot he wants at any time he wants, like I said, that's always going to make for an interesting matchup. So, yeah, that's the West, and then just overall with the West, it's the top 6 seeds. You got the Rockets, the Warriors, the Blazers, the Thunder, the Pelicans, and the Timberwolves. On any given night, they're gonna they have the potential to go off, and just put up like 120, 130, maybe even 140 points if they want to. We all know the Rockets and Warriors potential. The Blazers can, anyone like Dame can get hot and just drop 50 if he wants. CJ McCollum can get hot. Both of them can get hot in the same game. The Thunder, same thing. Russ can get hot and have just a monster game. PG can do the same thing. Another possible future Laker. Melo, and they also have Melo. Don't forget about Melo. Even though he's definitely not having as statistically as good a season as he's had in the past, he at any given time can go off and go on a scoring run. The same with the Pelicans and the Timberwolves. They're big guys. AD and Cat, they can both go off at any time. And don't forget about with the Timberwolves, they got Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins. Both those guys can go off and start scoring at any time they want. So we'll just have to. It's going to be interesting. My money is that the West is going to win. It's either the Rockets or the Warriors are going to take it. And one of those guys or one of those teams is going to be is going to hold up the Larry O'Brien this season, in my opinion. And that's nothing against the East, who I'm going to get to right now. It's just. That's just the way it goes right now. Those are the teams to beat. But the East is looking pretty strong. Sorry, I didn't mean to put it like that. But they're looking all right themselves. The Raptors are on the top. Similar to the West, though, the top 2 seeds, the Raptors and the Celtics, is going to be some combination of those two. It just depends on how the rest of the season goes. The Raptors, led by DeMar DeRozan, who I don't think he's going to get MVP consideration, but he should definitely get all NBA consideration for the way he's playing. He is playing out of his mind right now as well, not just for the Raptors, but for my fantasy team again. So I do have Dame and I got DeMar. So they're playing very, very well right now. The Celtics too, they're going through a little bit of a thing right now where it's kind of tough for them. A little bit of an injury bug. We just saw the scary incident with Jaylen Brown. Hopefully he'll be all right. I think they just said they lost Marcus Smart. He tore or damaged a ligament in his thumb or something like that. So hopefully they can have him back at full strength by playoff time. And then same thing with the. It looks like the East is set. It's gonna be like a. One of the same thing in the West, where it's going to be some combination of the teams that are there, but it's just depends on what seeding it's going to be. The Cavs, the Wizards, the Sixers, and the Bucks, and the Heat round out everything, and they're all within a game or so of each other. And like I said, it looks like it's going to be just some combination of them. Once the 8-9 seed, the drop off is like 5 games. It's just pretty significant, especially this late in the season, unless something catastrophic happens. Like I said, it looks like we're looking at a Raptors, Celtics. Again, also a special shout out to the Pacers, who are also coincidentally at the 3 seed, just like the Blazers, as the surprise team in the East this time. The Pacers, led by Victor Oladipo and my main man, born ready, Lance Stevenson. That's right, born ready. Doing his thing, it just goes to show that sometimes, sometimes you gotta fly the coop. You gotta fly the coop, and you gotta go experience life on your own. And you gotta go, have some trials and tribulations. You gotta, make some mistakes, learn on your own, and then, ultimately, you gotta, what is it? You don't miss what you got until it's gone. And the prodigal son returned to Indiana with Lance. Lance's career arc is a pretty good metaphor for life itself, if you really think about it. Like I said, he had to go experience some things first before he had to come back and really appreciate what he had when he was in Indiana. And Indiana had to do the same thing with Lance. So it's just good to see Lance out there doing his thing, Lance making him dance and stuff. So and Oladipo as well, having people thought he was going to be kind of not a bust, but just kind of maybe he was overrated at the number 2 overall pick when he was drafted. But he came back home to Indiana himself, graduated from the University of Indiana, and they have just welcomed him with open arms, and it is definitely showing. Because the Pacers, again, the number 3 seed in the East, and the big surprise team. Then we got the Cavs, the Wizards, the Sixers, and the Bucks, and the Heat. Like I said, rounding things out. And it doesn't look like there's a chance. The other close teams are the Pistons, the Hornets, and it just looks like they're not going to have a chance. Looking in, the Knicks might have had a chance, but we saw those chances fall away to the wayside along with Kristaps Porzingis' ACL. So that's always tough. But like I said, maybe in the future, I don't know. I hope so. But speaking of the future, even though it's like the lower seeds for the East don't, it seems like, not like hypocritical of me to say I'm excited for them to be in the playoffs, even though we know that they won't win anything. But that's because, especially with the Sixers and the Bucks, I think the general consensus is that, like I said, and I say we as in like NBA fans, and like, I'm not trying to toot my horn, but a little bit more of the smarter NBA fans. Like I said, we're smart enough to know that the Sixers and the Bucks probably aren't going to, go to the finals. We know that. But we're excited for them to go in, partially because, the Sixers, mainly because, trusting the process to see if it can actually work. And 2, because you want to see Joel Embiid in the playoffs. You want to see Ben Simmons in the playoffs. You want to see Giannis in the playoffs. You know what I mean? And you want to see them in the playoffs because if we want them to have it, it's part of the process of them becoming the players that we know that they can be, and then the players that we want them to be. And we know that they need to get playoff experience, and they have to go, and lose a few playoff games and know what it feels like, and go through that experience, and that everyone else had to go through. LeBron did it, Kevin Durant did it, Steph and Clay and the Warriors did it, Kobe did it, Shaq went through it. All the greats went through it, going all the way back. Magic, Kareem, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas. All the greats, going back, they had to go through it. And like I said, in order for those guys to become the players that we want them to become, like I said, they need that playoff experience. And so, and besides, who doesn't want to see Joel Embiid in the playoffs? You know what I mean? And who doesn't want to see Ben Simmons in the playoffs? Or Giannis in the playoffs. So, like I said, it's more, like I said, it's more fun and more optimistic as a sign of things to come. You know what I mean, with the teams like the Bucks and the Wizards, and the Sixers. The Wizards, though, like I said, probably not going to make any noise, really. They're probably going to get John Wall back in time for the playoffs, but like I said, they've got some thinking, and they got some things to sort out themselves with the future. Who knows? Are they going to keep both Wall and Bradley Beal? Are they going to keep some other guys? Who knows? We're going to have to wait and see. But the Cavs, though, man, definitely not playing the type of basketball that you thought that they were going to play going into the season. But any team with LeBron James has a chance. And everyone knows that. So, like I said, especially me, not going to bet against him in any for any reason, especially if they get, a lower seed and play if the season ended right now, they're playing the Wizards and they can handle Wizards no problem. So, Like I said, we'll have to wait and see. But it looks like the Eastern Conference playoff picture is pretty set. Like I said, it's just going to figure out, the seeding of, who's going to finish where and stuff. So it's pretty tight race, amongst them. But like I said, it's pretty set. And like I said, we're going to have to. It's an exciting time for the NBA right now. Coming down to the wire. And speaking of the playoffs, it is also fantasy basketball playoff time. And for a refresher, I am in 2 leagues. I'm in the Fantasy League with some homies and another group of homies. I'm in the NBA. Unfortunately, I finished in 9th place overall in the Fantasy League. So I am on the outside looking in, just playing for consolation stuff. Don't really care. It's whatever. Playing for pride at this point. But on a better note, Daddy is in 2nd place in the NBA with a first round bye. So I'm letting my guys rest, taking it easy. Letting them get a chance to lick their wounds, take some time off, do whatever they got to do to get healthy. They got to get right. You know what I mean? I'm liking the way my team is looking right now. I got, yes, I do have LeBron, and I got Dame, I got DeMar, I got, DeAndre Jordan, I got Klay Thompson, I got Kuzma, I picked up Markieff Morris, and I picked up Montrezl Harrell and Bobby Portis. So yeah, my team's looking pretty good. So I'm pretty excited. I'm very, very, very confident. Like I said, but it's the playoffs and anything can happen. We all know that anything can happen. So I'm just gonna have to wait and see. But again, I am very, very, very optimistic about that. So I'm very excited for the fantasy playoffs. So best of luck to my team and to all your fantasy teams out there for the fantasy playoffs starting this week. Hopefully you guys can take home some money or some pride, however you do it. I don't know. But that is how things are looking in the NBA so far. I'm going to go ahead and touch on everything from around the world of sports, everywhere else, real quick. And then in the NFL, got a lot of old faces in new places. Start with the home teams. Not much happened with the Chargers and the Raiders. The Raiders re-signed Justin Ellis. I saw that they released Sean Smith, who was, underachieved would be an understatement for him. And then the Chargers re-signed some other role guys, some guys that are kind of like backups and stuff. But other than that, not very much going on with them. But the Rams out here making moves. Out here making a lot of moves. Starting off with, I'm going to go in chronological order of how the trades happen, since that's how the list shows for it. For a quick refresher for you guys who don't remember, the Rams acquired Marcus Peters from the Chiefs, cornerback, who was very, very good. I really like him. But they traded him for, was it a 4th round pick and a 2nd round pick, or a draft pick, which is okay. They also traded Robert Quinn to the Dolphins for a couple picks again. They also had to but they also had to trade Alec Ogletree to the Giants. Again for more draft picks. And not only did they trade for Marcus Peters, but they also traded for Aqib Talib, who I know is very, 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 very controversial for his antics on and off the field. I get that. And he is getting older. But they had to, trade for him, or they traded for him for, what does it say? It's for a 5th round pick. But like I said, he might have some left in the tank. Who knows? But they got him. Let me see. I think they got someone else. Let me see. Where did it go? That is it. No. That's what it was. They lost Sammy Watkins. That's what it was. They lost Sammy Watkins. Say what you want about him. I don't know. But yes, he did lose. They lost Sammy Watkins. But they had to make a lot of moves. The Rams did because they got to make room for. They got to sign. They got a lot of their top guys are coming off their rookie deals. Aaron Donald, Jared Goff, Todd Gurley. They got to make room to be able to re-sign those guys who are definitely going to be the future of the team. It's tough to see, older faces, or kind of guys go, guys like Alec Ogletree and Robert Quinn, who have been with the team since they were in St. Louis. It's tough, but like I said, that's just the way it goes sometimes. They added some new guys, guys who are coming off of, guys like Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters, who are, good acquisitions not just because they can, make an effect on the field, but also on the cap space and the salary space and all that stuff. That's very, very important. They don't affect the cap as much and stuff like that. So, so that was going on with the Rams, and then for the rest of the league, man, a lot of stuff's been going down. A lot of stuff's been going down. Especially in the last couple hours. Just from today so far. From I just woke up and I saw that supposedly the Broncos are going to get Case Keenum. Apparently people thought that Kirk Cousins was going to go to the Broncos. Who knows? So apparently, like I said, that's going to happen. And then like not too long ago, I just saw that Drew Brees is going to sign an extension with the Saints. I'm not sure what the contract deets are, but that's going to happen. But then, everything going else around, obviously, the big news was the Seahawks releasing Richard Sherman, and the Niners picking him up. Big move within the NFC West still. So like I said, big thing. And then speaking of the Seahawks, I think they traded him, right? Let me see. I got it over here. Yes, they traded Michael Bennett to the Eagles. So, the Eagles just adding to their defensive line that's already pretty good. So, and then they traded for Marcus Johnson. I guess the Seahawks needed a receiver. I'm not sure. Like I said, it's just with the Seahawks. I was telling a friend about this. He was like, why would they get rid of all those players and stuff like this? I'm like, hey, look, man, it's just the Legion of Boom and then the whole Seahawks thing. It was bound to happen. It had to end sometime soon, and it just came down to they can't keep paying all these guys all the money. They already re-signed Russell Wilson for a lot of money. Obviously, they want to re-sign some other guys. I'm not sure who yet, but it's just the way it goes. And when they threw the money around the way that they were, it's gonna bite them in the ass a little bit, and they have to make some changes. Very famously, this happened to the Saints when they were throwing a lot of money around, and then the cap didn't go the way that they thought it was going to go, and they kind of got screwed. And then so the Seahawks, like I said, they were kind of in that situation. That happened. Then the Browns out here making some serious moves. They acquired they got Jarvis Landry, Tyrod Taylor, and Demarius Randall. It's crazy, man. They got a whole lot of stuff going on with them. So it's opening up doors for who are they going to draft now, because they got Tyrod Taylor. Everyone thought they were going to take a quarterback, whether it was Darnold or Rosen or the guy from Wyoming. They're trying to say who are they going to take, as far as, are they going to take him first? Are they going to take Saquon Barkley first? People aren't 100% sure. But the Jarvis Landry trade is actually pretty good for them. I like that pickup. Jarvis Landry is a very good player. And then they only got him for draft pick, which is like, they're like, fine, please, yes, please, I'll take that. Like I said, it's just gonna have to wait and see what they do, as far as, because they do have 2 draft picks, for those of you who don't know. They have the 1st and the 4th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to wait and see. And speaking of the draft, it is draft season. The combine happened not too long ago. Felt like it kind of just came and went. I kind of, was sleeping on it a little bit. But that's just because I just don't know anything about the draft as much as I used to anymore. I don't really follow it like that. I don't follow college football the way I used to anymore. And so, like I said, other than like the top guys everyone's talking about, like I said, like the quarterbacks and Saquon Barkley, I really don't know who's involved. So don't ask me for any input on that. Like I said, NFL, it is what it is right now. Wednesday, tomorrow is when the official free agency period starts. So, like I said, look for some more moves to happen. And then, things are start heating up for NFL too, pretty soon. And, speaking of stuff heating up pretty soon, the baseball is starting pretty soon. Very excited about that. I can't wait for that. That's what I want to go. I want to go to wrestling. That's what I want to talk about before I touch on a little bit of everything else. So the road to WrestleMania is officially underway for WWE. We just finished Fastlane, or WWE Fastlane, excuse me. That's the way that they wanted you to say it. So we just finished WWE Fastlane this past weekend. And most of the matches, not most of, but some of them, some of the matches are set now. we all know we're gonna get AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and that better be on live. That better be the last match of the night, and just let them go for like 45 minutes. Please just let them go, and then remake their Wrestle Kingdom match from a few years ago, or try to top that. So please let that match be last. That's the one that's the match that everyone wants. Just don't mess with it. Just let it be that. Please, please, please let that happen. But other than that, everything. Oh, other than that, and I really like the triple threat for the Intercontinental title. Like, I like that match. It's giving, all three guys are going to put on, we all know how good all three of those guys are individually. So it's just, why not put them all together and see what they do. We can, I love The Miz. I love Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, who I liked a lot more before, but I still know he's very good. So I like Seth Rollins. Like I said, the guy's going to put on a great match. Like I said, I just don't know. But the thing is, the other reason why I like it so much is I don't know who's going to win. I really don't know. So I'm excited for that match. But other than that, everything else is pretty up in the air for WrestleMania. And it might seem kind of odd that there's so much, like I said, uncertainty going into WrestleMania, especially considering it is the biggest, event in all of wrestling. But it's just that, I understand at the same time because, for the last couple of years now, WWE's been, injuries and, scandals and controversies and stuff have really, bit them in the ass as far as booking goes. So like I said, it makes sense, but it makes things very interesting. But kind of not in a good way. It's just like with the booking for the Lesnar Reigns match, it's such a mess so far. There's so much going on. Like, is Brock gonna stay? Brock gonna go? Are we sure Brock's gonna put on a good match for us? We all know that WWE wants to put over Roman Reigns. It's been like 3 or 4 years in the making, and we're just like, okay, please just get it over with already at this point. But they're just so desperate to try to make, and this is one of those situations where we're not sure what's a work and what's a shoot, because usually when that happens, that's a good thing, because it's like, it's blurring the lines between real and fake and all that stuff. And I talk about that a lot. But this is one of those situations where it's kind of backfiring on them, because it's almost like they're weak. It's like they think we're fucking stupid, which is even worse to do, because it's like we can see that because it wouldn't surprise us if they're just trying to make it seem like Brock Lesnar doesn't care anymore and all this and that, and they're just trying to make Roman Reigns be a sympathetic guy for us, and they're trying to make us hate Brock Lesnar, and that's not the case. Everyone's gonna, because it's so ass backwards, because they're forcing us to not like Brock Lesnar and forcing us to like Roman Reigns, which is the exact opposite of what the people want. So, like I said, I just want that match to get over with so we can move on from this finally and do something different. So yeah, the Lesnar Reigns stuff is a mess. John Cena called out the Undertaker, so sure. I get it, kind of, but then at the same time, it's just, it ruins the whole, the whole epic ending to WrestleMania last year. Now there's theories out there and rumors that this means that when the Undertaker comes back, he's coming back as the American Badass, or he's just coming back how he wants to come back. You know what I mean? Like, without, they're saying that they can they're trying to skew it or spin it where him putting his robe and his hat and his gloves in the ring like that is the death of the dead man, Undertaker, Gravedigger, original gimmick, and he can come back as, essentially a cranked up to 11 version of Mark Calloway. There's a rumor about that happening, but I don't know. And at the same time, I don't know. Like I said, I love The Undertaker. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But the match last year was so sad to watch. And who knows if they can get another one. Who knows if I just don't want to see. It's sad to see, your heroes in such bad shape. And I know he's working out and doing all this stuff, but like I said, I just don't want to see a shitty match like last year. That's ultimately what I'm trying to say. So there's that situation. Now it's like, so is Asuka gonna go to SmackDown? I guess we're gonna find out tonight. But I mean, she showed up to Fastlane and pointed at the sign and stared at Charlotte after Charlotte's match. But then she was on Raw last night, and so it's like, okay, so what's going on there? Is she on Raw or is she on SmackDown? And then if she does go to SmackDown, what's that belt situation like? Is it Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss? Who knows? I'd hope so. That'd be a pretty good match. But like I said, I don't know. And speaking of the women, apparently there's going to be similar to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale, which is apparently going to happen as well. There's rumors that it wasn't going to happen. They're adding a female's version of that, or a woman's version of that, called the Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royale. Now, I love Fabulous Moolah. When I was watching wrestling as a kid, I saw her and her towards the end. When she was, still cool, but I do know about her history and how controversial she was. So very interesting that they called it that. But I mean, they already had the Mae Young Classic, so I mean, the only, I guess, next name in line would be, Fabulous Moolah. It's like, what are they going to call it? The Sunny or the Sable or the China? They can't do that. So I guess, like I said, well, name of the match aside, I'm excited to see it. It is a good way to, get all the women involved. So sure, I guess. But then also, there's just so many more questions. Like, what's the plan for Braun? What's Braun going to do? Are they just going to throw him in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, which means nothing to the winner? Are they just going to do that? What's going to happen to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? Are they going to be in a match with Shane McMahon? Like, nobody wants to see that, man. We're tired of seeing Shane McMahon all the time now. We're just tired of seeing Shane McMahon, be the toughest, best wrestler in the world, So it's like, what does that happen? What is the bar going to do? Apparently there's like the rumor that they might do the thing where, because since Braun Strowman destroyed all the tag teams last night, that they might have Braun enter the tag division by himself and win, which would be hilarious. In all honesty, that'd be fucking hilarious. But at the same time, they cannot do that. They cannot do that. That would be so bad for the tag division on Raw, that they just cannot. They can't do that. That'd be so bad. Like, they can't do that. And it's just like I said, so many questions, and then it's just, and then the other stuff is just, and then I still have hope for the Ronda Rousey stuff. But it just, that whole angle, no pun intended with her and Kurt Angle, but that whole angle just seems to have fallen so flat because she's just not ready. That's the ultimate, that she's just not ready. And hopefully she can prove me and a lot of people wrong, because I'm not alone in this feeling, but hopefully she can prove me and a lot of people wrong and just go out there and just be a fucking ass kicker at WrestleMania in that match with her and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. And, they're going to win. We all know that. It's just, hopefully, it's just the matter in which they win. And hopefully she just goes out there and, like I said, just kicks fucking ass. That's what she needs to do. She needs to just kick some fucking ass, because it's getting really stale right now. So, like I said, very, I get, maybe this is all part of a master plan for the WWE to undersell the biggest event of the year. And then ultimately, because the bar is set so low that it'll just, no matter what happens, it'll be good. Hopefully that's what's going on here. Like I said, I love WrestleMania. It's the best. It's going to be a long night. It is going to be a long night for WrestleMania Sunday. So, they got a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it. So hopefully they can figure it out by then. Like I said, with WWE, I'm always optimistic. No matter what the situation, no matter what's going on with them, I'm always optimistic. So I'll have to wait and see about how WrestleMania goes. And speaking of wrestling, quickly, I know it's WrestleMania season and it's all the hype is around WWE, but please, I recommend all you guys that are all, and girls out there, no, not just guys, but guys and girls out there who are wrestling fans, to check out other wrestling and watch other stuff like New Japan, Ring of Honor, PWG, or anything like that that's out there. I'm gonna try to go to the New Japan show that's in Long Beach in a couple weeks. I'm like on the fence because I got some other stuff I gotta take care of financially, So, but I'm more than likely gonna go. So hopefully I'll see you there. If you're gonna be there, let me know. I'll see you there. And then for sure next month I'm going to the bar wrestling, which is super tight. I missed the one in February, but I'm definitely gonna go to the one in here in LA next month. So like I said, I'll see you there as well. And just check out everything else. New Japan is great. Ring of Honor is great. The Bullet Club is taking over, and they've completely changed the game. And just indie wrestling is at an all-time high right now. And it's no better time to just be a wrestling fan in general. So like I said, it's not just WWE. There's other stuff out there as well. So make sure you guys check all that out. Like I said, I'm trying to spread the love. So that's what's going on the big stuff that's happening right now. Like I said, from around the other world of sports, baseball's almost here, and I can't wait for that. I love baseball. Baseball is the first sport I ever loved, so I can't wait for that. The madness of March is underway. I can't say the other way around because I don't want to get in trouble. But it's underway. It's crazy. I really, 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 really wanted to go to Vegas this year for the NCAA tournament. But hopefully I can go there next year. I've heard nothing but great things about how fun it is and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try to do that next year for sure. Here in LA, the LAFC looks pretty cool. I am in no way. I am not trying to fake the funk or anything. I am an admitted not a big soccer fan. I you know what I mean. But the way that they've marketed the team, with the people that they've chosen to rep their jerseys and stuff like that, everything they're doing on Instagram and Twitter, all that stuff is just super cool. It got my attention, and I'm definitely gonna cop one of those kits because those fucking jerseys are tight. Like I said, the jerseys look cool, the kits look cool. So all that, that it looks cool, and like I said, hopefully it can take LA by storm, maybe pump some life into soccer here in LA. So there's that, and then Tiger baby, Tiger's almost back. He got second in the tournament this past weekend. It was a Valspar or whatever. He finished second in the tournament. Great to see him back, and I know he went through everything he went through, but I mean, it's pretty amazing to see how many people want Tiger to be good again. And it's also very inspiring and stuff. It's very, like I said, just amazing to see that. And just in perfect time for him to get some momentum going into the Masters. And that'll be if Tiger can play well in the Masters, just imagine that. Think about how cool that would be to see that. So Tiger's back, baby. Golfing is good. And I wanted to touch on this earlier since it was still fresh, but I got to give a big shout out to Brian Ortega, holding it down for Torrance and the South Bay, getting the win, being the number one in the world, getting that title shot. Let's fucking go, baby. T-City holding it down. Let's go. Big. I had to big up Brian Ortega real quick too. And then just touching on, some other stuff from around the world of, the stuff that I like, music. Like Jay-Z and Beyonce announced that their new tour is gonna happen soon. The On the Run tour part 2, I guess, or what we're gonna call it, On the Run 2. So that's gonna be good. Gonna try to maybe go there. And any ladies out there, need someone to go with, hit me up. And kind of on the same note, but in the other end of the spectrum, sounds like Big Sean and Jhené Aiko, who look like everyone's favorite couple, are hitting a little rough spot. I don't know what's going on. The rumor is that he cheated on her, but then supposedly she said that's not true, and the only evidence that people had was that she deleted a lot of pictures of them together, but then there's also still pictures of them together on her Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. So I don't know what's going on. Apparently Big Sean cheated on her with Nicole Scherzinger, which I don't blame him. Nothing against Jhené Aiko. That's bae for real also. But like I said, can't blame him either if it's Nicole Scherzinger. What else that I want to talk about? The music. Some cool new music out there. Make sure you guys check it all out. Vince Staples making some noise, doing some funny ass shit with the "Get the fuck off my dick" shit that he did on Twitter and stuff like that. That was funny as hell. With his GoFundMe. I think it's still up. Check it out. It's actually really funny. But the big thing I want to touch on with music is festival season's almost here. Best time of the year, festival season. So start getting your outfits ready. I know I already am. I'm hunting on eBay for all the stuff I want to get. Like I said, that's the biggest thing people are talking about. So make sure you get your outfits ready. Obviously the ones that I'm going to be going to here in LA, with Coachella, FYF. But then there's also, there's this new one that's called the Arroyo Seco Festival, which is crazy. That lineup looks crazy. It's going to be in Pasadena, if you haven't heard about it. Neil Young's going to be there. The Specials are going to be there. One of my favorite bands of all time. The Specials are going to be there. Robert Plant's going to be there. Who else is going to be there? I'm going off the top right now. Jack White's going to be there. That's crazy. Kings of Leon. Just check that lineup out. A lot of good rock stuff going on that one. The Arroyo Seco weekend or whatever it's called. And also the food looks amazing too. So check that one out while you can. There's also the Smokers Club thing or whatever that's gonna be at the observatory. What's it called? Is that Smokers Club at observatory? Yes, dude, that shit is crazy. That shit looks crazy. Oh, it's not the observatory. It's Queen Mary. Sorry, Queen Mary. That shit looks crazy. It's got hang on, pull it up. It's like where is it? It's gonna be Wiz Khalifa doing Kush and OJ, the whole thing. My favorite Wiz Khalifa album, Schoolboy Q, 2 Chainz, Juicy, SOBRBE holding it down. Xavier Wolf. Who else is on here? Like that's just Saturday. Was the big names, and then the big one on Sunday. I will pay so much for this to see Kid Cudi. Like, I'll probably cry if I see Kid Cudi. It's gonna be, but Kid Cudi's gonna be there. So yes, like I said, Kid Cudi's gonna be headline on Sunday. Then Ty Dolla $ign's there. Mac Miller's gonna be there. Flatbush is gonna be there. Dom Kennedy's gonna be there. Earl Sweatshirt. Cousin Stiz. Dude, it's crazy. That lineup. If you haven't heard about that one, check that lineup out. That lineup is also crazy. It's gonna be in Long Beach. But like I said, man, I'm running out of breath, man. There's so many big names for this one. It's crazy. So that's just the stuff here in the LA area. I also know there's other big festivals. You know what I mean? You got Ultras coming up. We also got EDC coming up. Lollapalooza's coming up. Governor's Ball in New York, and all the other ones. Like I said, festival season is upon us. It is here. So drop my mic. Festival season is upon us, and so make sure you guys get your outfits ready. I hope you guys are ready for some good music, and also I know it's a good clout fest, and it's a a good way to look cool and all that stuff. But I'm gonna be that guy to say it. Go there and please people go there and really listen to the music. Hopefully, like I said, you can find something. If you go there, go early. Don't just go for the big names like that, and then try to listen to a lot of the good music. There's a lot of good music, especially Coachella. People are saying that the lineup sucks, or the lineup is not as good as it was in the past, and it's just because they don't know a lot of these artists. You know what I mean? But that's the whole point of why you go to these festivals is to, you want to see the people but that you also go to find new people. I showed a lot of people, some new groups last year that went. I introduced a lot of people to Breakbot. I introduced a lot of people to Kehlani, which is very odd. It's Kehlani. Like, I introduced a lot of people to Kehlani. I showed some people K-Tronada. You know what I mean? It's like these people are popular, but not fully popular. You know what I mean? And then, I saw some new people too. So it's just, it's all good times, and it just shows you the power of music. And I don't want to get all sappy with all that bullshit, but it's at the same time it's true. So, like I said, go there and enjoy the music. It's there at a good time to have fun and get fucked up. I know, but like I said, go there and try to find some new music. Not just at Coachella, but at all these music festivals. And I think I rambled on for long enough. So I'm back, baby. That's how I know I'm back. When I just get to the rambling, get to the yik yakking. So again, like always, thank you guys out there always for listening, supporting. Make sure that you guys follow along to the new SoundCloud. If you're listening to the iTunes and Stitcher feeds or anything like that, or the other ones, because those ones are unaffected. The only one that changed was my SoundCloud. Follow the new one. It's still, if you just look up Brown Mama Radio, I'm the only one still there. But like I said, just follow that new page and tell your friends to follow it, and all that stuff. Spread the word. Like I said, I really appreciate it, and not just SoundCloud, but subscribe and follow along on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, anywhere else you listen to podcasts. I'm probably there. And make sure you guys also follow along on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. If you want to yell at me about anything, if you think that the Clippers should try to make the playoffs, if you think that the Lakers should keep Julius Randle, if you are looking for a festival date, hit me up, ladies. You know what I mean? So, like I said, follow along on all the socials and all that stuff too. And like I said, it sucks. It sucks that I lost, my account and all that stuff. But like I said, I'm up for the challenge to essentially start over. So, and like I said, it's a minor setback for major comeback. I really, really hate that I use that saying, but at the same time, it really, really pertains to the situation. Yeah, I'm just happy that you guys are listening still. I thank you guys, like I said, all the time, no matter what. Thank you for rocking with me. I really appreciate it. So go out there and or don't just have a good week, make it a good week. Drink more water. Health is wealth. Be kind to each other. It's easy to be nice. And like always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.